开始吧。Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Liu. It's great honor to share the paper with you. The paper title is China's FDI Project Performance in Indonesia, the Belt and Road Initiative. The authors Mr. Liu Weiwei, Professor Muhammad Zilal Hamza, Dr. Eleonora Sofilda. The paper's outline, introduction, theoretical background, methodology, results, conclusions, implications, and recommendations. Introduction. The Belt and Road Initiative has plays a very important role in many countries, including Indonesia. In October 2018, China and Indonesia signed the memo on the Belt and Road Initiative and the Global Maritime Forum. Then Chinese foreign investment in Indonesia has dominated from year to year, especially on the GDP growth, national and local government tax revenues, and the number of Indonesia workers abroad. This study aims to analyze and examine the number of Chinese FDI projects and the amount of investment capital for Chinese FDI projects in Indonesia. Second, the condition of absorption of local workers from the amount of foreign investment capital and the amount of investment capital for Chinese FDI projects in Indonesia. Third, the development of Chinese companies registered in Indonesia, including tap number industry. Fourth, what factors affect the sustainability of Chinese FDI projects in Indonesia? Fifth, the state of development of Chinese FDI project in Indonesia, including profit or loss, China workers, Indonesia workers in the project, and working time. Sixth, policy recommendations for the sustainability of China FDI in Indonesia. Then, theoretical background. This paper means about the FDI, foreign direct investment, and the GDP, gross domestic product. The previous study also focused the FDI and the GDP and the labor's human resource methodology. This study used a qualitative approach with data analysis technique coding. The primary data will be collected through the FGD and analyzed by using Envivo software. There are 5 informants of like Ms. Fiola, Mr. Du Gui, Professor Bang Bang, Mr. Yin Guofu, Mr. Andrea. Next, results, descriptive statistics. From table 2, we can know the total investment capital for Chinese FDI projects in Indonesia. In general, from 2014 to 2020, the number of investment showed an increasing trend. However, during the period, there are 2 declines in 2015 and 2018 because the Indonesia presidential election. From table 3, we can know the amount of Chinese FDI project. About this, from 2014 to 2020, the number of Chinese FDI projects in Indonesia continue to increase, but it can be seen that the ratio of the member of China's FDI projects compared to the member of DDI projects in Indonesia continue to decrease from 30.33% to 9.99% on year to 2019, but rebound again on year 2020. From table 4, we can know the number of workers absorbed by FDI and the DDI project in Indonesia. The total of workers absorbed by DDI and FDI projects tend to decrease from 2050 to 2018. Well, the members slowly increased in 2019 and 2022. From table 5, workers absorbed by Chinese FDI project from 2017 to 2021, the member of the Indonesia workers absorbed from China FDI projects fluctuated up and down because the COVID-19 and 2019 presidential election. From table 6, we can know the number of Chinese FDI companies registered in China Chambers of Commerce in Indonesia. The number of Chinese FDI companies has increased very little every year and only increased from 232 to 164 for 5 years from 2016 to 2020. There are not many companies enter Indonesia except for small scale companies. Well, large and medium-sized Chinese FDI company will continue to depend their efforts in the Indonesia market. This results from questionnaire. The investment were made in field of engineer, energy, mining, power plant, housing and transportation. The previous table also reports that profit or loss, the ratio between Indonesia workers and the foreign workers, working hour and time performance. Okay, this results from coding. The results indicate that the 20 nodes had the last contribution in the overall hierarchy. The information obtained from all informants is in accordance with the topic or issue in this study. Referring to those results, human resource also appear dominatedly. Conclusions. The development of the Chinese FDI project in Indonesia continue to dominate the contribution to Indonesia's total FDI after Singapore. This is evidenced by the coders, by the nodes like investment domination, increasing in number of projects and others. The amount of Chinese FDI investment capital in Indonesia was very positive from 2014 to 2020, and the member continued to increase. The development of Chinese investment in Indonesia has experienced positive development, both in terms of the number of projects, total investment value, employment, and the number of existing office. The trend of the members Indonesia workers absorbed from China FDI has fluctuated, increasing due to the impact of the presidential election and COVID-19 during 2015 to 2020. In general, the development situation of Chinese FDI projects in Indonesia is in good condition. Many factors affect the time performance during the construction of the project, like financial factors, construction standards, supply and material equipment, and others. Other funding produced by the exploration stage or coding analysis were carried out, particularly the comparison diagram and metric code. Okay, the last policy recommendations. The Belt and Road Initiative plays a very important role in promoting the economic development of Indonesia and China. Policies must be continued. Indonesia is one of the important partner countries now and in the future. The government needs to improve the quality of human resource for Indonesia workers, attract more high-tech foreign technical personnel, and increase investment in technical vocational education. It is also necessary to make more rigid Indonesia government relations relate to the use of Indonesia workers for foreign investment projects from China and other countries. The government must be concerned about Chinese FDI in order to increase investment in infrastructure development projects, especially in the areas with minimal infrastructure facility. From the aspect of the Indonesia government, the policy of Global Maritime Forum is very active and has an effect on Indonesia's economic development, and efforts to attract foreign investment to Indonesia was successful. The Indonesia government must continue to pursue strategic policy to actively attract foreign investment. At the same time, Indonesia government also need to create a better business environment to attract more foreign investment. From the aspect of the Chinese FDI companies, the management of Chinese FDI companies must actively adapt to Indonesia policy, economic, religion, and culture, understand local custom, climate, and geography, learn Indonesia, adapt and carry out work. According to the actual situation in the country, Indonesia, especially for companies in the transportation and the mining sectors, China's FDI companies must also comply with Indonesia national laws and regulations, implement enterprise localization development as soon as possible, employ as many local employees as possible, and undertake various skill training to meet project development requirement. That's all. Thank you.